Hey Dana, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you a little bit about how to find some resources to help you get started in World of Warcraft. And one of my favorites is Icy Veins. Now, one of the things that a lot of players will complain about is sites that talk about builds, etc., etc., etc. And I want to preface this by saying this is a build site that's going to help you figure out what it is that you want to play, and how to play it somewhat effectively. These are probably these class guides are written by basically masters of each class, so they're looking for the best builds. But one of the things I really want to stress is that everybody's playstyle is different, and there are things that are going to be comfortable for you that may not fit the build as you begin your journey in World of Warcraft. Now, for all the classes that we have, each and every one of them, really, to be honest with you, is pretty simple. I think that the problem with them being overwhelming at this time isn't so much that they're not simple, but just that those options and those choices are overwhelming. Now, in each class, you're going to find some specs or some builds that are a little bit more challenging than others. For example, Shadow Priest has a very demanding combat cycle that is difficult. Okay, Disciplined Priest also has a somewhat challenging cycle. Excuse me, not so much so, but Holy Priest is just pretty plain and simple up front. So each class is going to have a little bit more challenging specs on them. And I just want to kind of talk about those. I'm not going to talk about each one, but I just want you to be aware about that. Now, you're talking about Hunter, and Hunter's a great class. Don't think of it as an easy class. Think of it as a great class that cleans up a lot of crap that you don't have to deal with. Okay. Um, I personally, I have two in Hunter that I really like to play. I like to play Beastmaster and I like to play Survival. Survival's just stupid fun. You're in your target's face, you're blowing them up with bombs, your pet is doing things, and I like kind of being in the melee, so that is fun to me, okay? Being in the scrum right there in the center and just really having a go of it. Beast Mastery is a great spec. A lot of people call it simple, but they don't know what they're talking about because there's some unique characteristics in Beast Mastery that you need to track. And I will help you figure that out and give you some links at a later time. But Beast Mastery is about building stacks of Frenzy and maintaining that. And Frenzy is what your pet is under. It buffs your pet because Beast Mastery is all about attacking with your pet and not so much you. So everything is about maintaining your Frenzy stacks, learning to keep your rotation so your Frenzy stays up. And so that's you'll find that that's a really fun spec to play. The other best part about Beast Mastery, and I don't keep track of everyone. It's just something that I noticed with Beast Mastery. Um, as a priest, most of my spells are I have to stand still and I have to cast. Um, Beast Mastery is run and gun. There isn't a single talent, a single skill, a single attack in Beast Mastery that you have to stand still on. You can always be moving, you can always be attacking, you never have to stop. And it is that sort of level of mobility just really frees you up. It frees you up to do mechanics, it frees you up to do other things, you know. And like I said, with Beastmaster, one of my favorite things is, especially when leveling, is I'll stick my pet on all these other mobs and it'll be growling and biting them and everything else like that while I'm over here picking herbs, you know, just kind of minding my own business. But as we take a look at that, let's go ahead and take a look at that when we get in here. The site is called Icy Veins, okay, right up here, Icy Veins. And you can click on the different classes, mouse over here and select yours, but we're on Beast Mastery. And when you come down here, you're going to see that there are um, some a lot of information here. Things that I think you're going to find out really good for you is like when it talks about easy mode, which is just the basic how to get started and fight. It also talks about builds and talents that you want to use. It talks about how to improve your gameplay by watching your rotations and cooldowns. This stat priority, I want you to understand that only matters at end game. Okay, ignore it before then because it just doesn't make a lick of difference. Gems and chants and consumables, again, that's an end game thing. It's talking about trying to get you the very best stats that you need to play your class at the end game. Same thing with gear and best slots, same thing with covenant, same thing with legendaries. All this other stuff, this is all down here. Really is just a lot of it is looking at end game. But when we take a look at, well, I don't think I wanted to do that. Let me go back. When we're on our Beast Mastery guide, right, one of the things that I really want to show you is right down here. It's talking about how to level Beast Master, okay? And when you click on this, it's going to take you to a guide that's going to give you the easy mode and how to learn how to play your class. But the important part is right here, the level by level rotation and talents. This helps you as you're leveling up. It's going to, you see how the powers under 2.2 rotational level up as a Beastmaster. It tells you how to improve your build as you're going on. It gives you the new talents that you want to choose at each level, and it talks to you about the powers that you're unlocking and how to fight. And then it also talks a little bit about war mode if you want to get into war mode, which is going to help you level faster because you get more experience in war mode. It talks about your best your best pet. Okay, so and this is really good, and it's going to take you all the way up. And every time, you know, as you level up and everything, you move that slider over to where you're at. Excuse me. And it helps you learn what it is that you want to do with your attacks and how you want to play. And I think that's a really brilliant thing. Okay, so once you've got that right, you can take a look at the different builds, and then you would click on here. Is that, again, this is really aimed for end game content. They have so many ads. You can look through, and it talks about the reasons why you want to select different powers and what they mean for you. Okay, and they will give you best rating, best dungeons, and just the things that you want to learn for that. And then it will go specifically into, because this is not a leveling, this is now end game, it will give you the hunter rotations for your end game and things that you want to do on there. So think on that. One of the things that makes hunting fun is that you have a lot of flexibility with what you're going to do with your pet. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. And I am going to shaman my priest right now. I want Void Spear. I have a problem with alt, so I have a lot of characters, and I don't want him to. So what I want to do is I need to go to the other one. You're going to see that I have a very specific keypad. It's the same thing I talked about with Star Wars. I'm using some very specific, there's my hunter right there, Magma Forge. I'm using some very specific input devices, and so my layout matches that because it just matches with my brain. Okay, so I'm using a lot of fancy add-ons here to track things. All right, so for hunter right now, when you get to endgame, Kyrian is our best choice. Okay. With Beast Mastery, we get 2 pets out, but what we need to have is we need to have the Animal Companion talent, and then it's going to summon whatever pet we have tucked away in our stables. and you have to go visit the stable master and do things with that. So I'm going to go ahead, and a basic rotation for me would be to Hunter's Mark your target, okay? Then I'm going to misdirect, and what that means is that all the threat damage from that is going to go there, and I'm going to start, and you can see I have one frenzy stack, and this is built by using barbed shot, and I have an add-on that helps me track that, and it's important for you to maintain that at 3. And you can see right now that my frenzy stack is red colored, and what that means is that I'm going to be able to maintain that and not run out of frenzy stack, because you can run out of timing because the stacks don't line up perfectly. So we're just, and it's just a very simple rotation. And like I said, if I need to move, I can move, right? I can do all of my attacks while moving. There's nothing that I can't do. And I let my frenzy go down because I wasn't paying attention. There's nothing that I can't do while on the move, and it just helps me maintain my mobility. I prefer, I'm a big fan of mobile classes. So that's a big thing for me, and I'm just weaving in some other abilities in here for life. You see, I went purple. It means my stack is going to drop, and it's purple again. My stack is going to drop before I can get another one because the timings aren't perfect. But I managed to get this will throw freebie pops in here, which are going to help you maintain your stacks. Okay. Another thing that I'm not doing, and you need to do this too, is you need to maintain your mend pet, because your pet is going to take damage, and I let my frenzy drop again because I'm being a dumbass. So those are just things you want to really pay attention to, and I think you're going to have a good time with it. I really think that the Hunter's a great class, and I think that you'll enjoy it. Don't let other people fuss at you about it being an easy class, or it's a 2-button class, because it really isn't. There's a lot of complexity in here that you can enjoy. I didn't need to remark them. Sometimes I get button happy. And I missed my button for frenzy too. Alright, so that's pretty much it right there. In a nutshell, is take a look at Icy Veins. It's going to help you. It's going to help you figure out what it is you want to do. You'll need to learn how to set up your user interface as what's comfortable for you, and I'm happy to talk to you about that as well. But I think that as you go along, you're going to find out that this is a really, I think Hunter, personally, I think it's one of my favorite classes. I really like to play Survival. Survival, we lose a pet. But Survival is melee, and it is just stupid fun, and I love it. I just really love getting in here. Do I have my pet summoned? Where's my pet? There we go. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark. I'm going to reduce. Now this one is interesting because we're melee. One of the things I can do right here is my harpoon throw, which pulls me into combat. And we're going to commence to just doing things. And this one is a little bit more complex. Right down here you're going to see an ability called Carve. I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to hit Shrapnel Bomb. Okay, my bombs changed. And each time your bombs change, there's something different about them. You can see it changes the colors, and it kind of busts the types of abilities and attacks you can get off. So you rotate through an ability rotation that I think you'll enjoy. But it's a little bit more complex, and I'm all over the place right now, so I haven't played him in a while, so don't judge me too harshly on this. But anyways, that's your gist right there, is that Hunter's a great class to play. You want to make sure that you've got everything set up for what's comfortable for you, and really enjoy your class. Okay. And when it comes to any help you need on any of this stuff, just let me know, because I'm retired. I don't have anything better to do, and it's not like that's not a good thing to do. I'm more than happy to help with things like that. Okay. So I think you're going to enjoy that. I think, like I said, I enjoy Hunter quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. I like the melee aspect of it, but if I'm doing one of my problems, and this won't make a lot of sense to you, but it's something that makes sense to me. I've gotten older, and so both the combination of age and some of the things I've been exposed to on the battlefield, because I'm a combat warrior, have kind of fuddled my brain a little bit. So sometimes if there's a lot of complexity that's happening either in the fight or going around me in real life, it's like my clock starts to flash 12 and I need a few seconds to reset. I just get overwhelmed mentally. So Beast Mastery really cries out to me, because it is not a complex spec to play. But what's really good about it, like I said, is that mobility and always being able to fire on the move. Marksmanship is another great class. I just don't play it that much. It has some real... I played it during BFA, and it had a lot of great gameplay. It's kind of... Beast Mastery is not so AoE. Survival is all AoE, and Marksmanship is kind of in between, and it does single target, does AoE very well, and it's another great class. It's something that you should spend some time having some fun and playing with. I'll probably try and get something together on that as well. So hopefully these... the biggest kick I want you to really get from this one is to take a look at Icy Veins. And again, like I said, that's... to quote Spock from Undiscovered Country, Icy Veins is the beginning of wisdom. That's where you start. You're going to want to modify things as what feels best for you. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to go outside the box. Experimentation is probably one of the most important things in this game. Finding out what works for you, because I have to be honest with you, I've done builds and I'm like going, man, I am not getting the numbers that I should be getting according to these guys when I use their build. But if I use my build, I'm getting as good as numbers or better numbers than them. So understand that WoW, World of Warcraft has some specifics, and if you play in accordance with those specifics, they're going to do you probably really, really well. But there's some room in the game for individual accomplishment as well, and I don't want you to be afraid of that. Go out and explore, have fun, and just enjoy it, because to be honest with you, you're playing and you're with Ruin, you're not doing anything wrong, okay? If you're having fun, you're not doing anything wrong. So we will catch you later. Like I said, again, let me know if there's any more help that I can give you. All right, catch you later, dude, and bye.